Hello, everyone. This will be my first live, and I'm excited about this. Um, so, give me a few seconds while I get this started and get some things together on my end. This is my first one, so I'm trying to figure the StreamYard thing out. Okay, Nick, enter. Hey, positive. Hello. I'm trying to figure the StreamYard thing out, but I think I got it so far. So that's pretty good. How have you been, ma'am? And positive, I think I just added you as a moderator. Sorry. I know everywhere you go, you're like, okay, come on now. All right. So give me 1 second while me and Nick get set up. Hello there, Nick. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, blogs?
I can't hear you. Is your mic on mute?
Can you hear me now?
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Okay. Can anybody else hear me?
Okay, try it one more time. Say something.
Can anybody else hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. You know what was so funny is I had my volume on my laptop down and I
Uh,
didn't have my headset in. So I was like, why can't I hear him? Uh, okay, let's say hey to everyone watching. We have the
Hi,
positive
everyone.
mukbanger. Yay. We
Hey,
have
Positive.
Jasmine. Hey, Jasmine. Thank you
Hey,
guys for
Jasmine.
coming. Everybody, please thumbs up the live. Okay, so Nick, our topic, let's get into the topic waiting until marriage. Thank you, positive.
Waiting till marriage? I believe in that.
Yes,
I really do. Um,
yes. So I'm gonna ask you first, give me what are some pros about waiting until marriage? We'll go one by one just in case we want to kind of go into detail about each one.
okay, so the biggest thing that I see is communication is a lot better um,
Mhm.
for people that wait until marriage to compare to people that don't wait until marriage. Um, Actually, studies show that you have about 30% more with communication compared to people who don't wait until marriage.
Mm, that's deep. And I believe that because one of my pros, and I'm gonna skip down to this because it kind of piggybacks off of what you're saying. One of my pros was chemistry and sparks last longer. And I feel like, when you're waiting, you're just kind of like, it's just almost like, it's that curiosity there, but it's you go through that phase of being like hopelessly romantic with that person longer. Um, I feel like, and you have your cam on, Nick. I knew you,
Okay.
I knew you were gonna do it. We were just talking about that. Uh,
Whoops, sorry guys.
but I feel that the chemistry and sparks um will last longer. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I actually do. Um,
Mm,
the yes, you are right about sparks of chemistry. Um,
mhm,
it builds excitement. And when you have more excitement, how do I say it? Yeah, it does build more excitement, and yes, the chemistry gets a lot stronger
mhm.
when you tend to wait.
Yes. And let's go ahead and send it over to the chat. What do you guys feel about that? Do you think that the chemistry and sparks last longer when you either wait a longer period of time or when you wait until marriage period? Okay. And Nick, let's go to your other pro. Do you have another pro?
The other pro, uh, well, one is it. A lot of people deal with for religious beliefs. Me, I
Mhm.
was raised apostolic, and we believe in that um, very, very much so. I was always raised in my household that I was in, an apostolic home. Um, wait until you're married. Don't worry about the other girls that are wanting to sleep with you or anything like that. Wait until you're married. Wait until you get all your education before you do anything else.
Yes. I was raised also apostolic, and it's the same thing, just wait, so yes, for religious purposes it is something that I feel is imperative, um and Positive says that she also agrees. All right, and I'm going to go to my next pro. I feel that you can get to know each other better without giving yourself first. So I noticed that, um, like in past relationships that I've been in, and where I've really gotten to know the guy without doing anything with him. If like one relationship I was in, we actually ran into his ex girlfriend at a grocery store, and I knew him, like I knew a lot about him. He was doing a lot for me, and we were doing a lot for each other. I mean, we were just like dating, and she had made a comment like, "Girl, he's getting you this stuff. He didn't do that for me." And so he was like, "Oh, get out of here," and it was just like it wasn't a bad thing. They were joking or whatever, but she was serious about that. She was like, "No." And one thing that he did explain is that, he appreciated the fact that I was respecting myself. So he was telling me a lot more about himself and opening up a lot more because he felt that that I deserved that. And, he was pretty much giving me his better self.
Mm-hmm.
And you as a guy, do you think that that's something that you would also do, or something that, you agree with the
I
way?
agree with it.
Mhm.
I agree with it very much so. The reason being is, yes, sex can be great, but that's just physical attraction. But when it comes to chemistry, when it comes to knowing about someone, it
Mhm.
takes a lot of communication, takes a lot of spending time with that person. Sometimes that person likes gifts. Sometimes the person just likes nice things saying about them. You learn more about a person by communicating. You learn a lot about a person just by just by waiting, you know.
Mhm. Yes. Okay, so do you have another pro?
Another pro. Let's see, what else do I have as a pro? One pro that I do think of it as is, and it kind of goes with a con as well. Some people can relate it to as a con. Is if you wait until your marriage and you never slept with anyone before, that could be that could be a very special moment for you and that person, that you and that person can share, and
Yes.
no one else can have it. It's like a treasure box, or it's like a treasure chest. You're the only one that has the key to that treasure chest. That's how.
Yes. Yes. And Positive said is key. Communication should be the foundation. And that is
Oh yeah,
so
definitely,
true. Yes. Because I feel like
definitely.
you can't even get that far in a relationship without communication. You need that, you know.
Hmm.
And when you communicate, there's going to be so much that you communicate. Once you get married, you're going to communicate more about finances. You're going to need to communicate more about decisions you make. So
Yep.
when you're dating someone, that's already, like she said, building that foundation. And
Yep.
you knowing that that open door is there for you guys to talk about anything, and I feel like it will make it easier in the long run in your marriage. So yes, Positive, I totally agree. And
Hmm.
Nick, what you were saying about like it being like a treasure box, I feel like that's the most beautiful thing about it. I was gonna wait for questions a little bit later, but because you said that, um, it goes into a question that I had.
Hmm.
I hear some negative about, if you never try it with a person first, you may be dissatisfied. I don't believe that because, like you said, this is a special moment for both of you,
Yep. You're
and
right.
so you won't be all of that time of waiting. It's just like that's excitement, and that's just like your surprise at the end of the rainbow. That's how I feel. So I don't believe that anyone would be dissatisfied if they waited. Not at all. And you have couples who they teach each other. I hear people say, um, well, girl, what are y'all gonna do? You don't know what you doing. He don't know what he is doing, but you can teach each other, and that's the beautiful thing about it.
Right. Right. And you
Eh,
can learn what she likes. He can learn. He can learn what she likes. She can learn what he likes.
Exactly. And Positive said, I agree, Nick. That is how God intended it to be, and it
Yep.
is. It really
Hmm.
is.
Yep.
And she also said intimacy is more than sex. It is really getting to know your spouse or potential spouse. And to me, see, look into me, get to know me. Yes, yes,
Yep.
that's
I
so
agree
true.
with it.
I do too. Yes. And that's what makes the connection deeper when you wait too. A pro that I feel is like if it doesn't work out with this person, you didn't um you don't feel that you've given yourself to someone that you will never be with again. To me, I feel like if I'm dating someone and we sleep together and we don't work out, I'm letting you off into the world. You're going off into the world, and you can say that you had me, and we'll never be together again. It's like I'm wasting, myself on someone. Do you? you get what I'm saying? You agree
Right,
with me?
right. Yep, I agree with you. I remember being in church, and um, as I was saying, I was raised in apostolic church, apostolic family. And one of the youth leaders, he was saying, if you sleep with that person and you guys don't end up not working out, you basically gave up something that you could have gave to someone else that you're going to marry for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's true. It's like giving their gift away. To
Yep.
me, I feel like
Yep.
that's a gift that you're giving someone. Did you have any more pros?
Um, there's more attraction when it comes to waiting until marriage. Um, it actually builds more attraction
Mhm.
towards your spouse.
Yeah, I believe the same thing too. And that also goes into like that chemistry thing that I was talking
Yep.
about and the
Yep.
sparks. Mhm.
And then I don't know if anyone knows this at all, but sex is sex when you wait until marriage and you actually have sex with your partner. Um, sex is actually 15 times or 15% more better than what it would have been if you did not wait.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. And I can believe that too. I really can believe that. Yes. And Positive was saying part of that person remains with you too when you have sex. Soul ties. I have heard that. I have seen people who have been with a person for like 6 months, a year, whatever, and they slept with that person, and it's so weird. They start to pick up some of those person's, antics or, like,
yeah,
it's like their
yeah,
manners or something. It's so weird, and they have even said, "I didn't start doing this until I was with him or until
yeah,
we slept together, and now I feel like he's rubbed off of me. And that is so true with the soul ties.
yeah.
I don't have any more pros written down, but did you have any other pros that you had jotted down?
Um, one pro that I some people might disagree, but you're saving yourself from having any STDs or any venereal diseases.
Mhm.
Um, yep. Uh, I mean, if it happens, I mean, you got to talk to the other partner. I'm sorry, but you're less likely to have any STD or any other venereal disease.
That is so true. That is so true. And that's scary, you know, to think about that because, like, you have to think when you sleep with someone, you're also sleeping with the people that they have slept with.
Yep, yep,
It's just like a big circle, of the person they slept with before you. Um, so yeah, that's true.
that's all I can think of pros right now.
Okay, so
If I think of any more, I'll let you know.
let's get into the cons.
Oh, the cons. What if they're bad? Oh,
See, I just brought that up. But are you saying that's like what a lot of people think is like, what if they're bad?
that's I think a lot of people think that,
Mhm.
but honestly, I don't think it's true. Because if you are with the person that you want to be with for the rest of your life, it's not going to be bad. It's not.
Right. I feel like I had said earlier, you could teach each other. And how can that be bad? How can
Right,
that be a
right.
bad thing? Like if you are with someone that um they've had multiple partners before you. Now you feel you got to live up to what those people were doing, or you just, it's better to like teach each other. That makes it even more
Mm-hmm.
exciting to me.
Right,
So,
definitely. I mean,
okay.
if you don't like something and he's doing something to you that you don't like, you gotta let him know. You're
Mhm.
gonna have to experiment, of course.
Yes, that's what Positive just said. She said, "Right,
Yeah.
experiment." And that's very exciting, once you wait and you can experiment with that person that you love. Okay, and I don't have any cons, and the only reason why I don't is because I strongly believe in waiting, and I think that there's lots of pros in that. So, and I tried to come up with some cons as far as waiting, but I just I can't come up with any because every time I did, I start thinking, but then you could do this and it'll be a positive thing, or So I don't have any cons. Did you have any other ones?
The cons that I have, um, it's more along the lines of what if I didn't wait? If you didn't wait, one of the cons that I have is sex addiction, um, and also cheating. Um, because when you experience or experiment with multiple people in your mind, when you're having sex with your wife or you're having sex with your husband, um, you could be thinking about another person,
Ooh, that's
and
so
you
deep.
could be thinking about your past ex that you've been with, or a one night stand that you had that turned out to be a good or a bad experience that you had, and if that person did something better than what your wife did or something that your
Mm,
husband did, and you're like,
mhm.
why can't my wife or my husband do this for me, but this person can, or they can do it, but they're not as good as that person.
Wow, yes. And Positive said, right. She also said, right, you have to communicate what you like or don't like. And that was going as far as like experimenting with each other, um, and learning, together. But that is so true, Nick. Like, it some people that don't, wait. They have that locked in their brain of experiences that they had before. And so if you're with someone that decided to make you wait and you get with them and they realize, oh, you're inexperienced, you weren't doing what this person was doing, now A, I want
Yeah.
to cheat, or B, I'm going to think about them all the time. Um, yeah, I completely agree with that. And that's really deep. And
Yeah.
that's why I feel that when you're in a relationship, it's hard to find now, but there are those out there. Um, sometimes it's good to find somebody who hasn't, but everybody that doesn't go for everyone. If you're in a relationship with someone that hasn't and you have, or it's vice versa, you know, um, it doesn't necessarily mean that that will happen. That's just one of the cons that could happen. 'Cause
Right.
I feel like people can repent and they can change and they can say, "Okay, I'm ready to start fresh and I'm ready to start over,"
Hmm.
and still have a beautiful experience when they get married.
Yeah.
Um,
Another. Oh, go
mhm.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask you if you had another comment.
All I was going to say is like, um, multiple partners. Like, if you don't wait until marriage, you could be having multiple partners, and you just don't know who has. Like we were saying earlier, you don't know who has what.
Mhm. Sure don't. Sure don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question. As a man, do you feel that you propose to a girl a lot quicker, that you have not slept with?
That's a good question. Um,
Mhm.
I I actually know a couple that actually they dated for 13 years before they got married, and they waited 13 years and they didn't have sex until they were married. Um,
Wow. But
but
is that
then
because they were dating when they were younger and then they grew into adults and got married?
yeah, well they were younger. They did break up for like a year. They got back, or I think it was like 2 or 3 years, and then they got back together.
Mhm,
But they were like best friends for since they were teenagers. I think like 13 or 14.
mhm.
They were like best friends. And I was at their wedding. I was a part of their wedding. And hi Tay.
Hey,
Um,
K-Tay.
um, so yeah, they waited for a long time, and then I know my parents they waited a year and a half after
Mhm,
they started dating. I think it was a year and a half. My dad told me, yeah, a year and a half, and then but they didn't have our brother until about 3 years later. Um, but yeah, I think it goes both ways.
mhm,
One, it depends on the age. Two, it depends on how long you've known that person. Like you and I, we've known each other what 5, 6 years now.
mhm.
Um, some people wait that long, but some people are rush into getting married soon, engaged, and propose real soon. And then there are some people that will wait years before they even get married.
Yeah,
Um, like my brother, he proposed to his wife, and then 3 months later they got married. So I
mhm.
mean, it was a very quick engagement.
Yeah, but they were in a relationship for a long time since they were younger.
Oh yeah, for a
Mhm.
very long time.
But their marriage, it was just quickly after they got married,
Right,
after
right.
they were, engaged.
Engaged.
I
Yeah,
feel like, it takes as long as you're getting to know the person. I know some people, they want to jump in and say, "Okay, I have to wait, so I'm ready to do this, let's go." And then I also feel like sometimes that could be just as bad as doing it without being married because you're
right,
not
right.
giving yourself time to know that person. You have to know that person, you know?
I was just about to say that. Yep, you're right.
And let's see what Positive says. She says, the Bible says it's better to marry than to burn. And that's so true. That's so true.
I don't want to burn.
I know we don't want to burn. No, no way. I can't even stand it being, too hot outside. So I could just imagine, no way. You're not ready for that. No. Um, did you have any questions?
Any questions? Trying to think of another question here.
Um, if a woman was I have a question. If a woman was to give herself to you before marriage, do you think that there is a time frame she should wait?
To wait to get married, or
Mm-mm. If she was to give herself to you before marriage, what do you think there is a time frame that she should wait?
I think there should be a time frame. I mean, because I strongly believe in waiting until marriage. But the thing about that question is she's wanting to give herself up to you, or is she's wanting to give herself up to me before she gets married? How would I feel about that? I mean, I would let her know, hey, I'd rather wait,
Mhm.
um, because this would be a more special time for us. And
Yes.
let's not rush into it. I mean,
Mhm.
I've known some couples that got married in 6 months. I have a family member. As soon as she met her husband, she told me this last year or 2 years ago. As soon as she met her husband, they were married. I think she said 3 weeks later. We're like, oh wow, that's a very quick.
Ooh, that is
Uh,
quick.
yeah, and they're still married. They're still married to this day. Her and I, we don't talk very much anymore, but yeah, they're still married to this day. They love each other to death.
Wow, that's amazing.
But
And Positive said, I don't think it means burn like in hell, but it's burn as in hot and bothered. I don't know.
oh, oh.
Oh, because we're like, we don't want to burn. All right, Nick, do you have any other questions? If not, we can go ahead and get ready to close this out. I'm going to turn it over to the chat for a few minutes before we go. Did you have anything else you wanted to cover?
Um, I really can't think of anything else.
Okay. Positive said you respect her enough to know that that is a precious gift and you don't want her to frivolously give it away. And that is so true. Yes.
That's
And I
very
think
true.
that's beautiful to tell. Some people may be, I know I talk to some people and they may be a little anxious or they might be a little worried like, well, what if this is what he wants to do? So when you do have to tell her that, maybe that's not really what she wanted. Maybe she's just scared of like losing you too, so she might bring that up, and for
Right,
you to make her feel like, no, this is what we want. But then again, that's still being on the same page and still communicating. So if that
hmm,
communication is there, she shouldn't be worried about it.
right.
Hi, Lady T. And
Hi,
she
lady.
says, "Hi, blogs, Nick and Positive just popped in on your first live chat on your own." I know. I'm excited about it. And you know what's so funny? I tried to have this a few days ago, and I didn't know how to figure to start the broadcast. So I was like, okay, well, maybe later. And then I messed around with it last night and figured it all out. I'm like, okay, really? It was that easy? But I'm here. Hey. um, did anyone in the chat have anything that they wanted to add to tonight's topic? And I just want to say for everyone watching the replay, especially single women who are dating right now, who are out, looking for the guy, or they're, you know, they may not be in a relationship yet, or they may be. Your body is a temple, and I hope that this live tonight helps you, and I hope that you are blessed, and I hope that your relationship lasts, and I hope that God gives it favor. So anyone that's watching this, I pray for your relationship, and I pray that God blesses you and that you make the right decisions. And Lady T says, "Thank you. Yes, I saw your test, but did not say anything." Well, thank you for being there for the test, Lady T. I was struggling a little bit. Uh, well, guys, we love you all. Thank you for coming to the first live stream. I'm gonna have some more cool stuff coming. Nick is gonna come up here sometime with me, and this was fun. I feel that it was a hot topic. It was a great discussion, and I loved enjoying it with you guys. If you have not, please like, and yeah, we're going to end it. Nick, did you have anything you wanted to say before we close out?
Um, have a wonderful night.
And you guys have a good night. But first, before I leave, Positive says, I think you all have covered some great points tonight. This is a great conversation to be had. Thank you, Positive. That means a
Thank
lot to
you.
me. Thank you. All right, guys. Love you. Enjoy the rest of your night. I hope you guys had a great Monday because sometimes it could be manic Mondays, but that's fine. Today was pretty busy for me, but it was great overall. I woke up this morning and that's what I'm excited about because God just blesses us continuously, letting us live another day to serve his purpose. And that's what I love. So, you guys, I love you all. And Lady T said thank you, likewise. And y'all have a nice night. Bye.
Bye.